Hello, it is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot, and we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, you can expect to see that reflected back to you in your interactions with others, in our external environment. And if you would like to see change, you do need to shift and change the energy within you so that your manifestations actually can come through externally. And hopefully my readings help you do that. This is the Sunday week ahead reading. We are looking at divine masculine and feminine energy, what we're carrying in from last week, what we're currently in, and where we could go potentially. And then I just felt generous, so I pulled a bunch of oracles today. We're going to take a look at them. For this week, we're just going to go right in and get started. We're going to do top of the deck, overall headspace, divine masculine energy. Just to explain, masculine energy is not just a person who identifies in as a masculine in their gender or whatever. It is also inside of every single person. It is just the energy of the mind and the intellect and of projecting or externalizing things. So taking action in the environment, the things you're observing and seeing in reality, it's like the headspace of that. And then the feminine side is the inner world, the heart, the emotions, inspiration, creativity, the connection to the divine, receptivity. And that's why every person is composed of both energies. And I believe that it is false to assign one energy to yourself. You may lean more into an energy because you're more comfortable with it, but it is not your gender. Your gender is something else. You can identify as a feminine gendered individual if you would like, but you shouldn't define yourself as a divine feminine. First of all, you're anthropos, which is both human and divine. So technically, unless you have information I don't have about you, you're probably not a divine angelic being completely. I'm sure you have those parts of you. But yes, so it's best to really look at the energy of both parts, because you want a person to be balanced inside of themselves and you want to be balanced inside of yourselves. And that's what this card is about. It's the High Priestess card. It's what is within. It's the inner sanctum. It is balanced energy. It is your intuition. It is trust. And I really like that the overall energy of the mind, of the divine masculine, of those that lean more into their masculine energy than their feminine energy, is to be trusting their feminine energy. So it's to trust that side of themselves, trust their feelings, trust how they're feeling. It's to trust people who are expressing emotions to them too. So the overall energy of this week is being able to trust yourself, your own voice, your inner voice, and having potentially another person who you feel is trustworthy and they are trusting you. There's that. You also might be really tuned in this week. You might be really connecting more to your guides, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your magic, your practice, like whatever it is, something that's sacred or holy to you. It doesn't even have to be associated with spirituality. It could be sacred for you to cook a meal. That could be your sacred practice. To draw or paint or write or dance or sing or drive around on the back roads at night. That's sacred to my son, right? That's his spiritual experience. He's a car head, so he loves that. So yeah, it's like having that inner world just feel safe and good and like you can access it this week. What's really beautiful about that is that the feminine energy is also bringing in the Queen of Cups here, the Queen of Emotions. And if you saw Friday's reading, the conclusion of Friday's reading, which is available to members, if you want to become a member, click the link in my profile or go to turnedintarot.com. Scroll down and there's a place that says Pearl's Prayers. Click there and you can become a member for $1. And the reading that I posted to the playlist, there's over 90 readings there for members. And the one that I posted to the playlist on Friday was the part 2 of the one that's on YouTube. And that really went into this unleashing of emotions, this opening the floodgates and allowing the emotions to come through. Because you're trusting your feelings. You trust the way you feel about things. When you're texting with somebody and you're like, let's say you're doing a dating app and you start texting with somebody and you just get a feeling, you're just like, I just feel like this isn't. And you can tell the difference between, your ego trying to protect you from getting into any relationships and keep you safe and just finding fault with everybody. Or if it's like, you're really like, no, my gut's telling me that this is not going to work. Something about this is off, right? So it's a kind of thing where you value those feelings. You really, really trust in those feelings. Absolutely. And that's how you're going to feel this week. I also think that you are in a place where you can trust others' emotions. So if someone comes to you and reveals their innermost feelings, you feel you can trust them. You believe it. You don't think that it's just a story or made up or anything like that. Now, what's really, really interesting is what's underneath the deck. This is what you do not see coming. And we've got here the Four of Cups and the Four of Wands. This 4-4 energy, which is, again, giving us the stability. The High Priestess is the 2 of the deck. And now we've got that doubled and then doubled again. This is like a compounding sort of build up, I think. The Four of Wands is associated with commitment and celebration and marriage and reunion and stable, healthy relationships. We've got here with the Four of Cups a card that is often, it's 433 as I'm saying this, a card that is often associated with missing out on opportunities or not seeing an offer because you're focused on all the times that things didn't work out and you're just not sort of seeing this one that's being offered to you. Now, the really interesting thing about this particular card, which I didn't say the decks I'm using, and I'll say that now, I'm using the Mystic Mondays Tarot for the headspace or the masculine energy, and I'm using the Muse Tarot for the heart space. And I actually had 2 people gift me this deck. The first deck I got was from Michelle, and then Bowie ate the 7 of Cups. So we'll forgive her because she was a puppy. And then the second deck was given to me by Abby. And thank you. And if you'd like to send me a deck, there's a place to do that. If you click the link in my profile and scroll down, you'll see send me a deck. And if you do decide to do that, I usually will send you a video reading of the very first reading off of that deck after I get familiar with it. I will do the first reading for you. So thank you in advance if you decide to do that. You can also find there, if you like the decks I use, I am going to be better about it, but usually I update that list to reflect the decks I have currently. I think I'm behind by quite a few decks, honestly, but a lot of them are there, and I'm pretty sure you'll find these 2 decks listed there. So that's another thing. If you just want to see which decks I use so you can purchase them, there's a link there. So this is a really unique image of the Four of Cups because we see that this person is looking dejected and she's focused on these 3 cups. And they're also not even real. They're just like white. It almost looks like a place that's being held for them, but they're not even there. So that's another thing. This is a dreamy energy that comes. This is a Pisces energy that comes with the Four of Cups. And then we have this realization that formed by these 2 profiles here is the cup itself, and she's in it. And so that's such a interesting thing because normally when we're looking at the Four of Cups, we're looking at as somebody is making an offer and it's not being accepted, or you make an offer and it's rejected, or you're not recognizing what's right in front of you. The divine is offering you this something better than the ones you're focused on, whatever. This one is that what you realize is that you yourself are literally the cup to a certain extent. And it's formed by this coming together of 2 individuals in this particular instance. So now this is just the week ahead. So for some that are going forward this week, you really are going to have a moment where someone is going to make an offer, an emotional offer to you. that they want to be committed to you in a romantic way, and perhaps really serious engagement for some people based on the the High Priestess card, which is about union and things coming together and balance. We've got the Black and White coming through here too, which is still even reminding me of the High Priestess, even though it's a Queen of Cups card. This is definitely for some. For others, what it means is there may be another week of feeling like a rejection. Feeling like you're making an offer and it's not being received, or feeling like you're not receiving an offer. And this card, which is also about meditation and stillness and enlightenment, what you're realizing this week is that you having a stable, healthy relationship with yourself, having filled your cup up and resting, floating basically in emotions that you have, in love that you have for yourself. This is something that you're committing to, because you don't want to feel rejected anymore. You don't want to feel like people don't receive your offers. So you're even more committed this week to really pouring into your own cup, and to maybe meditating or developing some kind of a spiritual practice, because you don't want to feel disappointed and dejected anymore looking at these cups that aren't coming to fulfillment. So for some, an offer of love and commitment. For others, the offer of love and commitment is really to the self. And for all, really, if you're expecting an offer of commitment and you haven't already made that commitment to have like this healthy foundation relationship with yourself, you're not going to get that offer this week. I promise you that. Because everybody who's getting the offer has made that first step that I just said, has made the realization that it is their relationship with themselves and their divine and their connection to that divine that is going to ground the offer they want into reality. So that's the overall energy of the week. Let's see what the masculine is bringing into this week from last week. Okay, we've got so many wands coming out. This is a sexy week. We had Rock You Like a Hurricane was the song that was playing when I was shuffling the cards. So, and it's like, here I am, rock you like a hurricane. I'm here for it now. That song also had a lot of shallow, sexy energy in it too. So remember, this is a reading for a lot of people, and you're all at different points in your journey. We use being delusional a lot. Being delulu is something that we do, and I think that you should, when you're dreaming and when you're creating and when you're manifesting, I think you should be delusional about it, and I think that you should stay in a delusional frame of mind. But in terms of readings, when I'm telling you there's an offer of long-term commitment coming in for those of you that have done X, Y, and Z, and you haven't done X, Y, and Z, don't be delusional about the reading, because then you get disappointed. Next week you're like, oh, that didn't happen. And you disregard all of the ways that you did actually have this Four of Cups and Four of Wands come true for yourself. And don't be disappointed if you hear the message and realize that there's some stuff for you to do before that offer would come through. 440 as I'm saying this. Because you got the information you needed from the reading. It's not like it's a mystery. It's not like you're going to stop listening to my reading and go, well, no, I don't know what to do. You're going to stop listening to my reading and you're going to go, okay, what does a healthy foundation in relationship look like inside of me? What does that look like within myself? I mean, for one thing, does it look like you ate an Oreo cookie last night when you said you weren't going to have one, and then you spent the rest of the night being like, you stupid idiot, I can't believe you fucking did that. That's the most ridiculous thing. Why can't you keep any of the commitments you make to yourself? What is wrong with you? Why are you like that? Is that what you're doing? Because if that's the kind of relationship you have, I know you don't believe me, because part of me doesn't want to believe me either. So I know that you're with me on that page, but I guarantee you that whatever your dialogue is like with yourself, you are creating your future relationships with others. And now you're probably not going to be as mean to other people as you are to yourself. That's something that we usually do. We're like, oh, I'm not going to call my child an idiot. I'm not going to do that. I hope you don't do that. But you probably call your inner child an idiot all the time. Oh, you idiot. Why didn't you pay more attention in math class? Jeez, that was stupid. I guess you should have kept writing notes to the dumb idiot who didn't even like you and rejected you and fed into your rejection wounds. Like, like we just go in, right? So, take a deep breath. Your relationship with yourself has to be the kind of relationship you would want with a loved one. So when you're feeling down and when you're feeling upset and you're feeling terrible, you wouldn't say to yourself, just forget about it. Just get over it. Shut up. Keep working. Just don't pay attention to those feelings. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Like, that's not what you want a partner to do, right? You want a partner to be like, okay, I hear you. I get it. You're feeling triggered. You're feeling sensitive. A lot of things haven't been going well. Let's just breathe together for a minute. Let's just breathe together. Do you want to lay down? Do you want me to get you a drink of water? Do you want something that's going to make you feel better? I know you told me you really don't want me to get you alcohol. You said that makes you feel bad, so I don't want to enable that behavior for you. But if you want anything else, I can get you anything else, right? That's the kind of partner you want to have, right? And so if you don't have that kind of inner dialogue, like most of the time, what do you think this person is going to be like? What do you think your relationship with this person is going to be like? Do you think they're going to be capable of doing those things for you? How? How are they going to be capable? How can you, if you believe in attraction, how can you attract to you what you cannot give yourself? So that's a big lesson coming through it. I had to emphasize. So, okay. So the masculine energy from last week is carrying in this vision. Okay. Now for the person in your life, this probably means that they've been looking at you and you look good and they still think so. And they still feel very attracted to you. And they still really want to be with you because you just seem like the absolute bee's knees. You're fiery and you're confident and you just look so good. You look so good and you're really shining. And they want you. And there is this physical desire too. There is definitely a desire to have some hanky-panky. 100%. So that's what they're bringing from last week. They're like, whoa, this person is a one hot mama. And like, I definitely am interested. Sign me up. Divine Feminine, what are you bringing in from last week? We have the page of inspiration. So, a spark. You're feeling a spark again about something. You're feeling inspired. This can be about a creative project. It can be about a person. It can be about yourself. Maybe you're starting to be like, ooh, I look good in that video. I just posted on my Pearls Prayers account my song called I Don't Know If You've Heard. And the chorus of that song is, I'm the shit and I don't give a shit about it. So like maybe that's how you're feeling about yourself right now. The good news is if you're feeling this way, the person that you are focused on who is a match to your energy, and here we can hear like the wah, wah, because most of the people that we like and focus on are rarely matching our energy. That's why they're not with us. And it takes so long to kind of pry our claws out of the dead corpse of our old self-concepts idea of what kind of a person we should be attracted to. And it doesn't mean that if you stop focusing on the person you've been attracted to that you can never be with that person. But it does mean that you can never be with your old self-concepts version of that person. Say bye-bye because you're never going to be with that version of that person, I hope. If you were, you're probably miserable because are you happy in the version of the relationship you have with this person right now? You might be happy about memories. You might be happy about some things that happened in the past, but I bet right now in the current moment you're not because you probably wouldn't be here watching my readings. And this can be true about a workplace. It can be true about the creative thing you're doing, the endeavor that you have, whatever you're pouring your passion or heart. It doesn't have to be about a relationship. That's the thing about my readings I try to make sure that everybody understands is if you see a reading I'm talking about masculine and feminine energy, do not assume I'm talking about love because of love between two people. I'm talking really about the relationship we have inside of ourselves. So this is what's coming in. Excitement, exploration, adventure, a grand vision, attraction, magnetism. I like that we're bringing that in from last week. I like that. then what do we currently have? Well, divine masculine, I told you he can't keep it in his pants. He's got the Knight of Wands here. He's on fire. He wants to rock you like a hurricane 100%. And what comes with that, out with that, is very interesting because it's a reversal, which I don't normally have. And it's the reversal on who? The King of Emotions. So we've got the Queen and the King here. It's actually called the Muse in the Muse Tarot. So the Muse of Emotions, who is the balanced version, basically the highest level that you can achieve. Now, I think they made it Muse instead of King because they didn't want to, make it that the King is the highest level to achieve, but it's really the balanced energy within that's the highest level to achieve, and I really like that about this deck. Now, what's really interesting about this King is he's coming out with this Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles is we've got 4 now, Four of Cups, Four of Wands, Four of Pentacles, and this is the card about holding things close to the heart. It is about building some kind of a foundation. And it can be about needing to let go of something. It can be about being worried about other people's opinions. It's got a little of everything in it. But for me, in this position, coming out with this card, this is one of two things is happening. Again, think back to the beginning of the reading when I said this could be a week where your person comes in and offers you a long-term commitment of some kind. Or, really seriously contemplates commitment with you. Has that vision and really wants to make it happen. Okay, it could be that week. It could be the week, though, where you experience disappointment in that regard, and there isn't that. It's more of a dream-like thing, or the offer that's there is still not accepted or something. And so in that same way, then this position is indicating that for some in the collective, the person that you're focused on has this ability with this Knight of Wands to sweep in and sweep you off your feet and has a feeling, a desire to build a solid emotional foundation with you. And I feel that that's true for a lot of people. I think that at this point, the masculine energy that you have been focused on, now if you're not dating anybody, if you're not like meeting people, chatting with people, talking to people, if there's nobody right now that you are actually probably, in some kind of communication with, or, even if it's like the vague Instagram posting stuff, I mean, if you're still doing that, you're probably at an earlier stage of your journey. But if you're not having some kind of communication with this type of person, it's not likely that you're going to experience somebody sweeping you off your feet suddenly and unleashing all their emotions. However, you may feel inspired because you want to experience energy that is not withholding anymore, that is not inconsistent, that energy that's not love bombing, which this can be the energy of love bombing too. You are making that commitment to yourself to build a solid emotional foundation for yourself. And that goes back to everything we talked about from the overall energy of having a better relationship with you. And so that's what's happening. Your current energy is like, I am not going to keep holding on to people that are emotionally unavailable and inconsistent. I am really going to build something that's a lot more stable for myself. I want to be more secured in my attachments. And I'm going to work on my secured attachment style this week. This can also be, I will not let my emotions cause me to react and destabilize myself financially, for those of you that have that happen too, where you want to be more consistent and build more of a solid foundation for yourself and for your career or your art or whatever it is. So that can also come into play. So there's the potential to be swept off your feet this week and to start building an emotional foundation with somebody who is no longer going to keep holding on to their feelings and is actually going to like let them go and express their feelings for you. Or it could be a decision that you're going to do that. You're not going to keep holding on to your feelings and not express them to somebody. You're going to actually speak too. Now, assuming we do nothing. So I'm going to give you advice today. I pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 oracles because I was feeling generous. And technically 7, 8 because we have these. Each goes with the final outcome. But if you stopped listening right now and you didn't do anything, You didn't take any of the advice that I am giving you right now in the reading and continuing to give you, and you just went about your business and didn't do anything at all, this is where you would end up. If you take the advice, where you end up can be shifted, and it can be it can work more to your benefit. And so that's why the advice is helpful. Okay. So, okay. If you do nothing, all right, and I have another card that's going to be how we shift the energy coming up after this. If you did nothing and you just proceed as planned, where is the mind ending up here? Ooh, 5 of Wands. Okay, that's not what I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. But I understand why it's here because of the feminine energy too. The King. We've got another King card or a Muse. This is the emotions. Now, this is the Voices card or the Swords in the tarot. And this is the first time the swords have come up at all, which is kind of a miracle because y'all are usually overthinking and in the head and stuff. And I'm very happy to see that you're being a little bit more in your heart. You're leaning a little bit more into your passions. Your emotions are being more valued. This means that you're really valuing your feminine energy more. This doesn't mean that you're like accessorizing and making yourself pretty. And I'm not saying that. That can be a side effect of being more in tune with your emotions and allowing yourself to adorn yourself and stuff. But I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you're leaning more into your emotional world and in terms of using it to help you interpret what's going on around you, to create the reality that you desire, to assess what thoughts you're having and whether or not they're helpful or useful. And so even though I'm holding up 2 kind of weirdly contentious cards, I feel liberated because I feel like you, without doing anything, what you're doing really is you are starting to get out of this mental conflict that you've always been in about whatever. This person that you're focused on, love in general, emotions, art, your career. I don't know what it is that you've been stuck in your head about, but I see you getting out of your head. And I think that that's awesome. But I do see with the 5 of Wands a bit of a struggle. So let me help you with the struggle so that it's not quite so clunky to get out of that energy. So we have 2 pieces of advice for that. The first card that's coming up is the 7 of Wands. This is how to break through this 5 of Wands. And the 3 of Pentacles, thank you for the heart, is how you break through this reversed Muse of Swords. Okay, so first let's do this. So what's the best way to beat out the competition? Stand your ground. Be your most authentic self. Like, do not let others' opinions or ideas dissuade you from that wand that you are holding in every single card that you were featured in today. Keep holding that vision. Keep seeing yourself in that positive light of magnetism and confidence, and understand that you are chosen, that you always beat out the competition, that there's plenty of room for everyone and there's plenty of space for everybody. Like, just assure yourself. That's the masculine energy that's got to step up. If there's a masculine that's wanting to make some kind of an offer and trusting in their emotions, that their emotions to do this are right, then they know that they have to distinguish themselves from everyone else, because this is a queen, this is a goddess, this is a high priestess energy that they're approaching. High priestess is intimidating as fuck, yo. She's psychic. So you're going to surprise her? You're going to surprise me? That's going to be cute. I'm not going to be surprised, because like, that's the way that it feels when you're with that kind of an energy. They can see right through you. They know that you're lying, or if you come up with false bravado, you're going to sound like a fool, right? So you need to really have the conviction of your beliefs to get through that stuck energy. This is also healthy boundaries. And look at how we have all of these alligators here in the water, and then we have this one that's on the land. So this is you drowning yourself in your emotions, allowing your emotions to make you feel destabilized, right? You just got success. The Six of Wands, the card that's not showing between these two cards is the success card. That's guaranteed. It's already implied. Success is here. It's right here. It's right here. And as long as you don't let your emotions, which we see, we've got a lot of emotions here. As long as you don't let your emotions sort of keep you from seeing clearly what you need to do. Like, it's somebody who could potentially, if the thought of losing you, if the thought of being rejected starts to overpower them, they could waver. And so they cannot let the potential for sadness or loss or despair preemptively cause them to experience loss and despair, if that makes sense. So stand your ground. Do not let your worries or fears start to create emotion that feeds the illusion that would keep you from doing what it is that you want to do. Divine Feminine here with this Muse of Swords in reverse. What do we do to counter this energy of overthinking? The Three of Pentacles. Doing something practical in the works, like in terms of work, like working with your hands, crafting something, collaboration and teamwork. This can also be always needing to like see everything into the future and plan everything and do everything yourself. And this is like an overwhelming energy, and nobody can do that. You need an advisor. Even a leader at the top of a company has advisors surrounding them for every decision, right? So this illusion that you have to constantly be doing everything, let that go. That's something that is holding you back quite a bit. But the other part of this card is building a sanctuary, and a place where you can surrender thoughts, like a place where it's not going to be about overthinking. Your sanctuary can be in your kitchen. It can be the place where you make art, doing some kind of art, creating music, your tarot space, your altar, but going to that sacred space and working with your guides and working with your deities also, because the original image of that has like this an actual church that they're in. So there's the sacred space thing. So praying instead of, like, when your thoughts are going, like surrendering them in prayer or something is also something that I'm seeing there. Okay, so I'm going to give you the spirit animal that's on these cards, and then I pulled the oracles for the entire reading for the week ahead. So for the Seven of Wands energy, the animals that are important from this card, the alligator, which represents mental stability, grounded harmony, sharpness, creation, and a fresh start. Call upon the spirit of the alligator to help you connect with Mother Earth and grounding. This animal knows how to thrive both in and out of the water and can help you find that balance between your emotions and logical mind. Although heavy, it can also teach us buoyancy as we ride down the river of life. So that's for the masculine energy. For the feminine energy here with our Three Pentacles, we have... where the pentacles are here. There we go. The wolf, which we just had the wolf moon, so that might be significant. Family, reliance, hope, and teamwork, and confidence. And then the deer is intuition, confidence, and protection. It says, use the wolf to help you connect with your intuition so that you can trust your instincts. When you walk alongside the wolf's spirit, you walk in balance with confidence and no longer in survival mode, but with a grace and ease that comes from inner strength. Cool. Okay, now let's look at the oracles for everybody. So that was just for masculine and feminine, and this is for just all concerned, everyone watching here. The Wheel of Fortune. This is a ton of animals. This came out yesterday, and I interpreted it for somebody, and I saw animals in there that I'd never even seen before. There's spiders in there. There's everything. So this is major arcana energy. This is telling me that this week is probably a week to take a chance, take a risk, make a change, It's a week of good luck. It says, it is often a sign that things are shifting in a more positive direction and that your luck is about to change for the better when the Wheel of Fortune makes an appearance. So take note. This card is a signal to direct your energy on focusing on what you want to achieve. Can you see the big picture? Forces from above are coming together to help you and will be looking for your direction. What actions can you take today to get things rolling? If you need to pivot, now is the time to expand your horizons or see your situation from a new perspective. I have to confess that I get that little flurry of excitement in my belly when I see the Wheel of Fortune, especially if I have been managing a less than pleasant situation. The owls, bats, and spiders circle in the night sky to create a vortex of healing, transformative energy. The owls create clarity and the ability to see your goal even in the darkest of nights. The bats bring intuition and make a connection with your higher self. And the snake at the center is here to help you release the past, shed what no longer serves so that your dreams can grow bigger. 2 scorpions and 2 lunar moths guard the perimeter, ensuring that you remain true to yourself and your values to who you are at the soul level during this change. The owl represents wisdom, protection, authority, awareness, and guidance. The bat represents being magical, intuitive, quiet, esoteric, success, and prosperity. The snake recalls change, growth, connected, spiritual, flexible, and intuition. The scorpion evokes protection, beliefs, passions, strong opinions. And the Luna moth evokes rebirth, renewal, and change, and the soul. My eye's itching for some reason all of a sudden. Interesting. Okay. So we had a lot of creatures come out in that card. Okay, so our spirit animal deck, we're getting Panther Spirit, and it says reclaim your power. So it's 44. We had a lot of 4s in this reading. We had 444, and now we've got 44. And it is the protection message, and it says, are you feeling shaky because you have made a bold move and have not yet seen confirmation that everything is going to work out? Or is fear holding you back? Are you afraid to act until all risk of failure has been removed? The moment when there is no risk whatsoever will never come, so follow the urging of your panther spirit within and look your fear in the eye. Have you ever heard of the famous line, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself? Stare down your fear and it will retreat and make way for your courage to fill you head to toe. Perhaps you are afraid you can't trust the power that is rising in you, and you fear the qualities you will find within when you look deeply at why you resist the challenge before you. Damn, that's really resonating with the Queen of Wands, the rising energy of that Knight of Wands. It was like the Queen, the Page, Knight, Queen, and then we got the maturation energy with the Kings that came out. So I really do feel like that, not being able to trust the power that is rising within you, and the High Priestess card is about trusting your power, trusting the power that's rising within you. Every part of you, no matter how dark it may seem, has a light quality. So be bold and face it. Own the light and make peace with your shadow. Spirit trusts you, so be brave and trust yourself. Trusting yourself is huge, with this High Priestess card being the very first card that we pulled for this entire reading. Big deal energy. Then we have, this is such a sign for me. I keep getting this card. Smiley face. This is joy. This is, every time you see a smiley face this week, it is a symbol. It brings you back to this energy of this reading. It brings you back to the things we talked about today. It's affirming that this joy that you're seeking is here. It's present. And when you see that smiley face, I want you to sort of assess and be like, ooh, what was just immediately joyful to me? My sister has smiley face nails right now on her nails. And I saw it and I was like, oh my God, that's my sign this week. I had that because I pulled this card before. I was like, that's so funny. I keep seeing smiley face nails. And my sister being here and me not having seen her in almost over a year because she's been in Los Angeles, where I used to live, and came back here to visit. That is something that has brought a lot of joy. So every time you see that this week, think about what's going on. Try to find the joy in the situation that you're in. Happiness is yours for the taking. Release stress to regain the ability to appreciate and enjoy the little things. Your vibration is increasing, so you may become more aware of pessimistic and low vibrational behavior. Don't let anyone steal your joy. Express gratitude and let happiness come to you as naturally as a smile. Then we're getting this card, Rest. This is green for the heart chakra for me, and this is just, I think, kind of that it's going for me with that muse, that's the King of Swords card in reverse. I'm hearing like, give it a rest. Like, close your eyes. You can't see everything. You can't project what's going to happen. You don't know every single thing that's going to happen. So just rest your mind. This is Four of Swords energy for me, actually, which kind of brings that Four of Swords in, which was the only one that didn't come out today. But yes, just let your mind have a little bit of rest. Smile, relax, chill. If you got all excited that somebody is planning to come and talk to you this week and you are, all in your head about it and stuff, I don't think that's going to bring the results that you're seeking. So just chill. Just chill. We're getting the protection message from the Hit Your Target card. Okay, so this is definitely somebody is afraid. Just afraid of taking some kind of an action or a step here. We saw that come out there with the Panther energy of like, just, be bold, be fearless. Don't let your fear hold you back. That keeps coming out. And then this says, hitting your mark requires concentration. Are you distracted lately? Are you being torn in 12 different directions? With that King of Swords energy that's in reverse. You cannot give 100% to 12 different things at the same time and expect a good result. It is time to prioritize and learn to say no. You have your own goals that need to be met rather than always assisting in side quests for other humans and their goals. Sometimes you need to be selfish in order to be a better version of you. Just like safety rules on a plane, you must get your own oxygen before helping someone else. Now, go hit your target. So, if you are being torn in many directions, it would behoove you to focus your energy on one thing. And really, in this reading, that one thing is sort of this grounding meditation, being still. We got the Rest card, tuning in to the High Priestess energy, feeling the emotions that you're in, so that you can assess what thoughts you're having. If you get into your emotions and find out you're really sad, how are you going to create something that's not sad? It doesn't mean that you should never feel sadness or that sadness makes only sad things happen. It's just if that's your baseline, your emotions, and you can't get out of that place, it's going to be really difficult to create something different. So you have to be aware of your feelings. You have to find ways to navigate them. You have to get help with it. And then the final card, we keep getting this little squirrel. This is the Prepare card. And I think this came out this weekend on the either yesterday or Friday. But it's time to lay the groundwork. Whatever it is you're facing, preparedness is the key to success. It is time to fortify your path by preparing the way. Look to your infrastructure, check your details, honor your commitments. By doing good research, no one can predict when success will visit, but we can certainly prepare the way by building a solid foundation. Just like the squirrel spends most of his time preparing for the lean months, you too can gather your resources so that your projects, relationships, and goals are fortified with thoughtfulness. Don't let yourself skip details, or you may find yourself missing something essential once the momentum begins. My feeling for this, though, with the Rest card is, and the fact that this was really more about silencing some of the chatter and some of the distractions, is that you are prepared for this. You've literally been preparing for this. And your self-care activity for this week is to make a vision board. So if you don't want to do a whole vision board, you can just go grab a few different photographs and make a little folder on your phone and put some images and just make them look through them, or make a Pinterest board or something. If you're like, I don't want to make a whole vision board, I get it. I usually do like one a year like that. But if you just want to do something that so that you can visually remind yourself of some of the things we talked about today, visually remind yourself to rest, visually remind yourself of joy, put a smiley face on there, to be bold, to allow those cycles that you have been in to come to an end and to change. Like, just remind yourself of those lessons this week in some way. And I will put that up now. And then for those of you that didn't hear it, this was the one from Friday, the abundance planning. So if you want the T on this card, if you see the members only reading, for part 2 of the junk food reading I think I did yesterday, it's in there. So go check that out. But that is all I have for you. Thank you so much. I'm going to now do personal readings over here on TikTok. So I will say farewell, YouTube, but I will see you again soon. I can't believe it's Sunday already. I don't even understand what is happening with time. Like, I'm existing in this. I don't know what's going on. But thank you so much for being here with me. I will see you all soon. Take care.